What was the biggest reason Kansas City won?
That we can put to bed this notion that Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes. It shouldn't have been a debate, but since we do a debate show, I wanted to debate this, Skip wanted to debate it, but there's really no debate. There's nothing to debate. The resumes don't line up, and I think he put that notion to bed yesterday with the performance that he had. Skip, did you know that Juju left this game? So now McCole Hardman left this game. Kadarius Toney left this game. Justin Watson didn't even shoot up. They brought a guy, Marcus Kemp, from the practice squad who caught a pass. So basically, he's throwing to MVS, Travis Kelce, Marcus Kemp, and Sky Moore. That's what Patrick Mahomes is doing, and he's doing it on a bum ankle. And he gave you 3+. He gave you 2 touchdowns, and that run in which he took off. He answered all the questions. He checked all the boxes yesterday. He says, until otherwise noticed, I am, unquestioned, the best quarterback in football. Yesterday, you saw all the great attributes in which Patrick Mahomes possessed. The touchdown pass to Kelce on 4th and 1. The touchdown to MVS. I mean, there's not a whole lot of quarterbacks. He scans, he wants to go to Kelce, he's double covered. He scans the field again, he's covered, and then he comes back. Look at this play right here. This is 4th and 1. I wrote to Kelce, back in the end zone, nice. Look at this play. This is the play. How many quarterbacks on a bum ankle can jump and throw this ball like he did? And right here, Skip, look at him. Look at my homeboy. He's like, give me that block. I didn't need this block. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
No, thank him for the out-of-bounds hit.
What was Skip? I mean, we got the first down. We got the first down, right? So you know
Yeah,
what
you had a 60-yard field goal.
No. Hey, that was 5 seconds. That was 8 seconds. What Mahomes can do. Now, you know what he's capable of doing. You saw him get in field goal range at 13 seconds. So with 8 seconds, I ain't got no question in my mind he could do this, Skip. But I also thought the defense did an outstanding job. Skip, we talked about it last week, and I say, in order for the Chiefs to win this game, Chris Jones got to play the game of his life. He played the game of his life. They harassed him. They did something they couldn't do the previous 2 games, which was continuously pressure Joe Burrow and not let those receivers outside, Chase and Higgins, do a number on him. They did that. They shut down the run. But Chris Jones and that defensive line, give them credit. They were relentless in their pursuit of Joe Burrow, and that's why they were able to win. But Mahomes had to stand on his head. He had to be great yesterday. He had the one turnover. He was about to throw a little jailbreak screen. The ball slipped out of his hand, and that's how they got that touchdown. But I thought Mahomes was one, but 1B had to be that defense led by Chris Jones. They were sensational.
I don't know. I got to get me a new television, but I watched a great game yesterday that was marred by a late boneheaded penalty that ended the game, unfortunately, in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. I watched Joe Burrow slightly, I'll just go slightly, outplay Patrick Mahomes yet again.
I got to get a new TV.
He was in position to be 4-0 against Patrick Mahomes, but I'm going to give Mahomes this. He was on an ankle that I thought was about 80%. That's what I predicted it would be, and that's exactly what it was. And he practiced all week.
How do you
and they
know
said
it was 80%?
He practiced. Well, I told you that's what it would be on Friday.
No, I'm saying, but how do you know it was 80?
I saw it. I watched it on my TV. That's my opinion of it. Okay. 80%. And CBS reported as the game began that he elected not to get shot up with any painkiller. So I guess it wasn't dire straits of an ankle. I guess they thought he could move around okay. And I thought he moved around plenty okay enough, given the fact that his protection was about 95% better than Joe Burrow's protection. You realize that Patrick Mahomes' offensive line through this regular season that we just witnessed led the league by far in pass block win rate. And you saw it on full display yesterday because they could get next to no pressure on Patrick Mahomes. It was 69%. They won their pass blocks. That was by far the best in the league. And you saw it on full display because the flip side of it was that Joe Burrow was running for his life the whole day, and usually he'd just say, okay, I give up, or he's dirt balling, or he's just ducking and for cover. It was Brady-esque, except Joe Burrow is a lot younger than Tom Brady is, obviously, and you said, well, he looks down the barrel and takes it in the mouth. Well, yesterday, there was no barrel to look down because he sets, and he's going down. And listen, to me, the MVP of the game was Chris Jones. Above the quarterbacks, he took the game over.
He had to.
He had to, and he did. And he was literally unblockable all the way down to the final play of the game for Cincinnati, which was a sack of Joe Burrow, which was just pathetic because, for once, he's a defensive tackle who obviously...
Put him at the DN.
And by the way, just for those who don't get this, Chris Jones is 6 feet 6 inches tall. And when he looms up over a quarterback, he looms.
Yeah.
And it is beastly where he's just swooping down
Right.
on. There was advertisements for this new movie that's coming out, Cocaine Bear. And
Right.
sometimes I thought he was Cocaine Bear, where he had accidentally ingested some cocaine because he was all over.
Well,
Joe
that last
Burrow.
play you're talking about, Skip, he got there so quick, I was like, please don't drop your body weight on him. Because Joe Burrow just gave up. He's like, I ain't got nowhere to go. And the only thing you worried about was weight. Okay, unnecessary run. He dropped his weight down on the quarterback. But Chris Jones was sensational yesterday.
Okay, all right. So in the end, the odds were so with Patrick. And again, I'm taking nothing away from gutting it up, toughing it out on his ankle. But when you're 0-3 against an arch rival quarterback, when a year ago in this game, in your place, in your house, that has been questioned this week as it was Burrowhead by the Bengals and their fans and their mayor, which we're going to get to in a few minutes here. And you stunk it up in the second half a year ago because you scored only 3 points and you let them come back from 21-10 down at halftime to take the game into overtime. You won the toss, you had it, and you went misfire, almost pick six, and then interception. And you owed Joe Burrow, and you did it. And I think Patrick just guts it up, and he said his team has never been more fired up and ready to play. And I think it had a whole lot to do with Mike Hilton at Buffalo screaming at the cameras at the end of the game, we're going to Burrowhead. Well, you can't, you said you can't do that.
Right.
And they're
And
like,
you remember Joe Mixon? What he said, Skip? We're the new team in the AFC.
you got to come through us, right? Okay. And after the game at Buffalo, and I was the first to jump on this and question it, Eli Apple and some other Bengals are lighting up cigars. And I told you, I said, I've never heard of that after a divisional round game. Maybe if you win the AFC Championship game, maybe. But I don't even like that. And then Mahomes took a shot at them. Well, maybe we don't have any cigars, but we're going to the Super Bowl, right?
But you know what? The Bengals remind you of the Grizzlies. They do a lot of celebrating, a lot of talking, and they ain't won nothing.
Okay, that's fair enough. At least they did get to, as opposed to the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies haven't gotten to a NBA Finals, but at least they got to a Finals, which was the Super Bowl last year. And they had won 10 games in a row. And congratulations to the Chiefs, because I thought in the biggest picture yesterday, they played harder and they wanted that game a little bit more than the Bengals did. Okay, so what happens at the end of the game? How does it get won by the Chiefs? It wasn't altogether Mahomes who did it, because the biggest play of the game is made by a special teamer who is Sky Moore, who had fumbled 3 punts earlier this year. And he's back and he takes the punt. And you can't do that. If you're going to win this game, you cannot allow this.
No.
He goes 29 yards. I think we have it, if we could see it, please. He goes 29 yards.
There may or may not have been a block in the back.
It was close. It was close. But I'm not going there. I'm not going to go there. But this kid can haul, and he's hauling up the sideline. And I look up, and they're almost at the 50-yard line. And I'm saying, well, that's it. Surely Patrick can put this one away. And all of a sudden they go run, then they go incomplete, and now we get to the crucial play. And it's 3rd and 4 at the 47. And the one thing you know about ankles is, you can usually go a little better straight ahead than you can go side to side. So he guts it up, but his adrenaline's just like probably flowing where he's about spitting it out. He's got so much adrenaline going on. And he takes off running, and I was not shocked because Hubbard lets him out. He breaks contain and gets outside Hubbard. As you see here, he ducks under and then gets outside of him. And here he goes off to the races, and I wasn't surprised at all by that. He gets 5 yards, but obviously he continues out of bounds. And Joseph Osai, he's a good kid who plays his tail off, and he comes to work every day, as Zach says after the game. But this is just so bad. It just you're overamped, man.
I thought Mike Hilton was going to check him. I thought Mike Hilton was going to block him and save him from himself.
Okay, and yet he tried to argue after the game. I was trying to get there to redirect his momentum, because if you make him go backwards out of bounds, you don't stop the clock.
How you going to do that, but you behind him?
He's so far back. You're not even touching him until he's past the white, like he's into the bench area. And I just said, okay, that's it.
Yes.
So a 60-yard field goal, which I do not believe Harrison Butker could have made that. I just don't think it was cold and it was windy. It was getting colder and colder by the moment. And he nailed the 45-yarder, give him credit. But if you look at the 45-yarder, it's not that much over the crossbar.
It hit the net, Skip.
Yeah.
It hit the net. Yeah, it did.
I thought it was
look at this. It hit the net.
Well, did it?
Yes. It's in the net. See, that's the net back there.
I'm not sure it hit
that's the net.
Did it?
Yes, that's the net back that it catches, Skip.
I thought the wind was holding it.
See, it's in the net.
Okay, it hit the bottom of the net.
Yeah.
Okay, but the point is from 60.
But it ain't going 60. No, he ain't got. Well, that was a 43-yarder. He ain't got 17 more yards on it. No.
Okay, so way to go, Patrick. You got them in position to, who knows? Wasn't it down to 3 seconds left at that point? I thought it was down. I thought he started at 8.
When he kicked the field goal, it was 8, and it was 3 left on the clock once it goes through.
Okay. So the point is, could they have gotten a few more yards? I have no idea. But in the end, the Bengals needed to make a couple of plays they did not make because it was going to be a close game, and it was going to come down to very close plays that had to be made. And I'm going to show you a couple of quick ones on Joe Burrow, who I thought made a bunch of throws that were not cashed by his receivers. The first one could have been a huge momentum redirector, and it's 8:45 in the second quarter. If we could see this. He throws it to his tight end, his new tight end, Hayden Hurst, in the corner of the end zone. And listen, if you hit the tight end in the hands, the tight end, as you well know, better than anybody alive, you have to catch the football. Yeah. And it's such a big throw that it's going to make it 7-6 Bengals and cancel out the 2 field goals. And I'm like, I'm going to remember that one because that's going to come back to haunt. So that cost them 4 points right there. And then I got to show you one other play. There's a deep ball, if we can forge ahead here. This is 7:08 left in the fourth quarter, and it's 2nd and 3 at the 36. And he throws a deep ball to Jamar Chase, who I just proclaimed on Twitter as the best receiver in football. And
the one that hit him in the head?
I don't know what happened here. I don't know if he lost it.
Yeah, he lost his balance.
He lost his balance. Yeah. I don't know if he lost the flight of the ball, maybe in the lights or something, but he couldn't get back. When he tried hit him in the face mask.
What he tried to do, Skip, is that he tried to use the 21's momentum to catapult himself. You see how he pushes, nudges him off? So in the process of nudging him, he lost his balance. The ball hit him in his head, I think.
It hit him right in the face mask, which for the best receiver in the NFL, usually you don't get hit in the face mask with a throw, but it was a weird developing play.
Yes.
But again, if he catches that ball, we might be having a different conversation because it's going to set them up in a better position. So I thought they got some bad calls down the stretch, but Joe Burrow kept digging them out and digging them out. But in the end, he's under such fire that it was only every 3rd or 4th play that he would have a split second more time to throw and dig them out of a hole. And in the end, he just didn't have enough protection to survive.
But, Skip, I think what hurt Kansas City is that when Snead goes down, he makes the tackle on somebody.
That was a big loss, I agree.
Because he's their best corner. He's also their slot corner. So now you got to bring McDuffie, who was lost. Skip, I mean, I'm trying to figure out, like, bro, on 3rd and 16, Skip, you got flat to deep flat.
You did.
Where the hell are you going?
I don't know, but he's a rookie.
Yeah.
He's a late 1st-round pick, Trent McDuffie, but he's a rookie.
Yeah, and Skip, and they got Jamar Chase doubled. It's 4th and 6. You got him doubled. All you got to do is turn around and find the flat of the ball. Nobody turns around. Jamar Chase jumps up, catches the ball. That leads to a touchdown.
Okay.
It was like they had so much trouble locating the football. I think it was Watson on the other side, the DB. He has an opportunity. Higgins just turns around, jumps up, and he's like, okay, I'm right. Bro, just locate the football.
Yep. No, I got it. By the way, quick point on McDuffie and the kids who played yesterday. And again, they had some big injuries. I give you that.
Yeah.
But Brett Veach's draft class, just this year's the rookie draft class, every single one of them made a play in this game. I couldn't believe it because that Karlaftis had a sack. Okay. And then Sky Moore obviously made the play of the game at the end to get them in position. And then we just talked about Trent McDuffie. He also made a couple plays where he got his hand up on balls.
He got an opportunity to intercept one early in the ball game.
He did. And then Brian Cook was their other 2nd rounder, and he was the one who tipped up the pass.
Got intercepted by Williams.
T. Higgins, and he tipped it up in the air, and it was a good enough throw to be caught, and he just got his hand up and tipped it up.
Right.
And then Williams is the other kid. He's the 4th-round pick this year. And then, listen, every time I watch Jalen Watson, who was like Shannon Sharp, a 7th-round pick, he plays like he's 7 feet tall. He's got incredible
He's a long kid.
Woo, God. Yeah. He's out of Washington State, tried to get in USC, and they couldn't get him eligible. But he's a talent.
Yes.
Who worked for a time, he had to spend an offseason working at Wendy's, and now he's in the AFC Championship game making plays all over the field. So Brett Veach scored, and it gave Mahomes enough help on top to cancel out all the injuries.
Well, I think, Skip, you have to do good at the draft because a lot of times you're going to let these high-dollar guys go on unless they're willing to give you a discount. Now, you saw what Mahomes did. He took a hometown discount because we know Mahomes could literally be making $60 million a year, Skip.
Yep.
But, you know, you got Kelsey on a discount. You got Travis. You got Mahomes on a discount. You can't afford to get keep Tyreek. So now you got to get MVS on a discount. You got to get a Juju on a discount. And if these guys go out, Your young guys got to come in and make a play. That was a big play. If I'm not mistaken, that was a third down play that it was a second or third down play to Marcus Kemp in which they got a first down.
No, it was a
he
good
just
play.
got elevated on Saturday.
I give you that. Okay, back to Mahomes and his touchdown passes. Let's look quickly at the first one. It was 3:53 left in the second quarter, and it's the one to Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
And he rolls slightly to his right. He could do this. He just moves slightly right. But look at the time he has, and he sets and lets him redirect because he broke his route off and came back. And my point is, if you give him that much time and you give Kelsey that much time to work on Jesse Bates, Kelsey's just going to get open.
Yeah, and Jason Bates does a great job because Kelsey normally runs the 7 routes, so he's playing on his outside shoulder.
He was.
Kelsey rolls,
and he cuts back inside. And
so
they have such rapport. They have such wavelength.
Yes.
And then the one that you brought up, this was his best throw of the day, and one of the best throws of the year, I will give you, because this is 3rd and 10 at the 19, and this is the one to Valdez-Scantling, who I thought played big yesterday.
He played his tail off yesterday.
So this is a 19-yarder. The point is, he starts to feel a little pressure, and he steps up, and he throws it actually off the wrong foot because he's going forward, and he throws it off his right foot.
Which is his hurt foot.
I mean, yeah, he's right foot forward,
Right.
so he's wrong-footing the throw, and he got a lot of juice on the ball, and threw it right down the gut and beat Jesse Bates to the
I actually thought Mike Hilton knocked the ball down, Skip. Because at first there was no reaction. And then all of a sudden you see MVS sitting on the ground.
Sitting on the ground and says, I got it.
I got it.
But here's
the
the
thing, Skip, here's the thing what you got to say about Mahomes. Think about it now. He has 10 postseason wins. 6 of them have come from behind.
Yeah. No, I give you that.
So that just goes to show you just how, because down 24-0, down 10-0, down 9-0 to Buffalo in the championship game 2 years ago, down to Buffalo again, tie ball game late in the ball game against Cincinnati yesterday.
Okay.
So I think now we understand, Skip, that look, the arm talent is there, but I don't think we give him enough credit for being in these situations and finding a way to get his team out of this situation and get them across the finish line with a victory.
All right. But speaking of great throws, and speaking of clutch, how about the Bengals? 4th and 6 at the Kansas City 41. This is the first play of the fourth quarter. And again, they're down 20-13. And this is a double coverage to the best receiver in football.
They run a sluggo, bro.
Yeah.
All you got to do is locate the ball.
Okay.
Come on, turn around.
This is rapport and wavelength that is uncommon because Burrow throws it to his former LSU teammate, and it's almost like a midfield back shoulder, if that's possible.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's a midfield back shoulder, and he says, I know where he can go up and get the ball over those two guys because they're not going to see the ball.
That's really the best. That's the best combo beater there is, Skip. Because if you remember in the championship game, that's the play that Brady hit Gronk on.
He did.
He had him double covered. He stuttered, and he split it.
Okay.
And you see that right there to run the slow go. Cook jumps like, okay, he's going to run the slant. And the corner is on his outfield shoulder.
Yeah.
So if you just throw it up the field, the safety is struggling. I got to get there. He never turns around.
I got it. And then one other play I got to show you on Joe Burrow. Don't think he can't move. This is 2nd and 13 at the 15. This is 8:30 left in the fourth quarter.
He juked some linebacker out.
He juked a linebacker out of his shoes. If we could see this, he needs 14 yards to convert this. And he says, okay, I'll do it. Whoops. And there he goes. And he took some punishment, too. He didn't slide. He knew where the first down was. That's a make you miss right there on 32. Wasn't it 32?
Yep.
William Gay? I'm not sure who it is. Maybe. And he gets the first down.
I think Gay is 50.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, I think he got hurt also.
Yeah, he did. He got hurt. And think about it. So all these guys on the offensive side got hurt that Mahomes got to overcome. Defense, L'Jarius Sneed. Gay gets hurt. Has to come up. And I want you to know now, you keep talking about he outplayed him. All I know is Joe Burrow turned the ball over twice, Skip.
Okay, he did. He threw 2 interceptions that were more great defensive plays than poor throws. I didn't think either one of them was a poor throw. And Mahomes did lose the handle on a football and reopen the door for him just the way he did last year, but they could not capitalize enough to get home. So in the end, it was a great game. It was 2 highest level quarterbacks. The two, you can argue, the 2 best young quarterbacks in football.
Oh, you're going to be seeing this for a minute.
For a long minute.
You're going to see this.
This is it. And they go back and forth, clutch versus clutch versus clutch versus clutch. And in the end, I just hated it that it came down to a silly out-of-bounds penalty. I just hated it that it came to that because I was geared up for another overtime. And I thought we were staring right down the barrel at another overtime.
And sometimes it does because, Skip, you remember Kansas City when they picked off Brady in the championship game and D4 lines up offside.
He did.
Or Chris Jones accidentally, he hit him on the shoulder pad and they said he hit him to the face. A lot of times that's what these games come down to. But this has the making to be Brady Manning. I mean, Peyton Manning and Tom.
Sure.
I mean, it has all the
Peyton,
making.
not Eli.
Yeah. With Peyton and Brady, they're in the same conference.
Yeah.
Brady and Eli, they was in the Super Bowl. But these two young quarterbacks playing at a supreme high level. Neither one of them will back down.
Nope.
This is going to be a matchup for some years to come.
Last quick point. The only concern I had at the end of the night was, is Joe Burrow ever going to sit back and say, I don't know if I can ever really get it done here in Cincinnati because we still can't get our line right? Because he was down 3 stars, but you can say just injury, or he could say, we need to do better. We need somebody who can go out and get me better protection than I've had the last 2 years.
When they thought they had it, Skip, they paid a lot of money for that line, and they just got hurt.
They all got hurt.
I mean, Lyle Collins goes down, Jonah Williams, who gave up like 12, 13 sacks anyway, and Kappa goes down.
Kappa goes down. He was standing on the sidelines yesterday.
But Buffalo, that should be an indictment on you guys, Buffalo, because y'all didn't even come close to getting Joe Burrow on the ground.
Congratulations to the Chiefs.
Yeah, homeboy. At it again.
At it again. Back again.
AFC Championship, the Chiefs Invitational.
And guys, you sure did feel bad for Joseph Asai, didn't you? Those shots of him at the end of the game, just sitting on the bench.
Yeah, and
you wanted to walk over and give him a big hug.
Not to cut you off, Jen, but Skip, you hear going into the locker room, the linebacker talking about, why'd you hit the quarterback? Come on, bro, don't do him like that. I mean, you think he did it on purpose?
No.
Come on, don't do him like that. That's your teammate. We win together, we lose together, we cry together, we get upset together, but don't put him on blast like that.
Jermaine Pratt had some harsh criticism, that's for sure, and it went public. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.